All right, next question. Jocko, do you think that the military, Army, Navy, Air Force, is a young man's game? Because this guy is 29 years old and he's about to join up.
He's about to get it on.
Yeah, man.
That's awesome. Two answers to that question. And as usual, with answers from me.
The dichotomy.
Unfortunately, there's a dichotomy and they oppose each other. First of all, yes. And anybody that says it's not a young man's game is not telling the truth. Because it's a game where you're going to be on travel, you're going to be gone, you're going to be risking your lives at times. You're going to have to put up with a lack of comfort in your world. You're going to be living in barracks. You're going to be, I mean, it's just going to be, it's not creature comforts, right? It's the military. It's a semi-Spartan environment. It's not the Forgotten Highlander, for the love of God, but it's definitely more Spartan than what the average person has in regular life. So to anybody to say it's not a young man's game is not telling the truth, because it absolutely is. And for me, I joined when I was a kid, when I was 18 years old, and it was awesome. I had no attachments in life. Like, I went to the MEP station with nothing. That's the recruiting station where you actually go, and I forget what it stands for, but it's where you actually leave for the military. And I had nothing. Do you need to store anything? No. What's your, where are you going to send your mail? I don't get mail.
No mail.
There's no mail that's sent to me.
Yeah.
I'm a blank slate. And that's awesome. You don't think about family. You don't think about anything. You just get in there and you get your job done. And if they say, hey, we're going to deploy you tomorrow for the next 8 years, you say, cool, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's bring it.
Dang.
And you have a obedient nature because you don't know any better. You join the military and you're stoked. You're getting a paycheck all of a sudden. You got 3 hots and a cot. It's all good. Whereas when you're 17 years old and you're not quite putting things together yet, yeah, man, all of a sudden, like I said, you got a paycheck, you got 3 hots and a cot, you're ready to rock and roll. They tell you what you do, you do it. That's good. So, yeah, it's a young man's game. Now, that being said, of course, there's a dichotomy to that. And that is that the military is always in need of guys that are mature and smart and have experience in life, right? That you need to have people like that. Now, you get them eventually through the military, but it's also good to have people that weren't raised in the military environment so they can always have a little bit of an outer view and you can learn a little bit from them. But what you have to get over is all those things that the young guy can eat for breakfast, right? If you're 29 years old, there's a decent chance you've had a pretty nice apartment somewhere. There's a decent chance you slept in until, 9:45 on the weekends. There's a decent chance that you stayed out until 2 o'clock in the morning and partied and, brought a girl back and you slept in until 9. And you might be doing that on the regular. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got some clothes, you're watching cable TV, you got all these things, right? And then the other part of that is you might have a family. You might have a wife, you might have kids at 29 years old.
Yeah.
You might be established. You might have people relying on you, not just financially, but emotionally.
Right, yeah, just to be there.
So how are you going to cut all that away? That's the challenge for the older guy. Now, some older guys that are 29 years old, they don't have any of that yet. If so, best case scenario, you got both. Now, I'm not telling the 18-year-olds to hold off on enlisting in the military. Don't hold off. Just get it done. Get it done, and you won't regret it unless you screw up and bring it upon yourself. But if you are 29 and you can either overcome those obstacles of the things that are gonna tear at you emotionally, right? They're gonna tear at you emotionally. Now, what's cool is when you're in the military and you're raised in the military, you are raised in such a way that those distractions are easily overcome, right? You learn how to compartmentalize those things. At least I did. To say, you know what? Hey, I understand it's nice to stay home and sleep in on the weekend, but I'm not going to do it.
Right.
Right? It's nice to be able to hang out with your wife and kids, but it doesn't matter to me compared to my job. That's what you end up like, which is slightly psychopathic, but it's where you end up, right?
Yeah.
It's where I ended
That's how.
up.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It's where I ended up was, nothing else matters besides the SEAL teams. And I don't care about anything else. So if you want to be in my life, cool. You just got to do it around these giant parameters that's called the SEAL teams. Deal with it.
Yeah.
So join up, my brother at 29 years old. Go and get after it.
Do that. BTF.